Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and I help freelancers, agencies, and consultants land clients. We are finally in our new house, which is why the background is very naked, but I will fix up my office hopefully soon. All right, so in this video, I talked about a bunch of books that I think every freelancer, every business owner really, should read. Every now and then I run into a book that absolutely blows my mind, and that is the case today. This book is so good that I have to share it with you because it is going to change the way you look at not just your business, but your whole life. The book, where did I put the book? Oh. All right, it's called Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg, I think it's McEwen. I think that's how he says it. The whole premise of the book, if we had to kind of boil it down to one concept, is less but better. Do less, but do it better. I want to pause here for a second and ask you if this sounds familiar. On this channel, I have urged you so many times to pick a niche. Don't work with everybody. Work with brands within a specific industry or a segment of an industry. Don't provide every service under the sun. Provide one or two or maybe three services that you are the expert of. Why do we pick a niche? Well, first of all, it positions you as an expert, and experts make more money than generalists. Two, it means you can produce work that you actually enjoy because you are picking what you're going to focus on. And three, you're going to be better at what you're doing because you're only going to be doing a few different things, as opposed to being just okay at a bunch of different things. You're going to be really, really good at a select few. This is essentialism. Picking a niche is a form of essentialism. I did that with my own agency. When I first built this agency in 2017, it was a full-service digital marketing agency, which was ridiculous and a huge mistake. I talk about it in this video. But now we only do SEO and blogging, and we almost exclusively work with brands in the health and wellness arena. Another example, I have a student in my program, Revenue Spark. He's a crypto writer. That's all he does. Picking a niche was one example, but essentialism goes so far beyond that. Where I see a lot of freelancers and agencies go wrong, and maybe this is something you can relate to, they try to do it all and have it all. And I was the same way. I still have to fight that urge. We want a website and a blog and a YouTube channel and a podcast. We want to be on every social media platform. We want to set up paid ads and funnels, and the list goes on and on and on. Essentialism says that not only is this not really doable, but even if it is, you don't want to do it anyway. The book argues that almost everything is irrelevant except for a few things that are critically important. And this concept, when I first read that in the book where he's explaining that almost everything is irrelevant, my immediate reaction was like, no, everything is important, everything matters. And that's a horrible way to look at things because then nothing is ever a priority. And if nothing is a priority, then nothing ever gets done. Or I should say it doesn't get done well. Spreading yourself too thin and in multiple directions, I'm showing you a picture because he drew a picture of it. This is what you want to avoid. Doing a little bit of everything in every direction. This means that you're never going to give yourself a chance to really excel in any one direction. This is bad not just for your own motivation, but also for your business, because no business succeeds and thrives long-term by being mediocre at a bunch of things. A successful business forges a clear path and runs with it. Less but better. Less but better. Do fewer things, but do them better. So here's a perfect example of this. Years ago, when I was still offering social media as a service, I met with a real estate agent here in Vegas, where I live. And he was a really nice guy. He seemed very knowledgeable, at least that's how he, kind of portrayed himself as. And he explained his lead generation and acquisition process to me. It took forever. I actually got bored. So he had a wall, and the entire wall was a giant whiteboard. By the time he finished explaining this process, the entire whiteboard was covered in his scribbles. him trying to explain this process to me. It was this long, complicated, drawn out explanation that I could not follow at all. Now, I'm not the smartest person in the world. There will always be people smarter than you, but I'm brighter than the average bear. I should have understood this process, and I didn't. Honestly, I'm not even sure he understood it. So I said to him, well, it sounds like you've got it all figured out. What are we doing here? He wasn't landing any new business. It wasn't working. Okay, so he fell into the trap that a lot of us fall into, which is we think it needs to be complicated to work. We think that the bigger our goals are, the harder, how do I want to word this? The bigger our goals are, the more money we want to make, the more complex the process must be. Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Is it easy? No. But is it sometimes simple? Yes. Because really, things like landing clients, making money, growing your business, a lot of it boils down to a few very simple concepts. One of which is solving a problem people are having. And in our case, on my channel, I talk a lot about landing clients. Landing clients very much comes down to knowing how to have conversations with people, knowing how to solve their problems. You can't overcomplicate that because it's going to backfire. So I'm getting through this book and I'm thinking to myself, okay, all of this sounds peachy, but how do you even figure out what to focus on if you don't try a million things first? And, talking about that, I think you do need to test. You still need to test and compare different things. I didn't wake up 5 years ago knowing how to run an agency. I figured it out after trial and error and messing up a million times. And those things are going to continue because I want to continue growing my agency. So that is part of the process. And it's going to be the same for you. So for example, I'm very active on social media, and for a long time, I was posting 3, 4, or 5 times a day on Twitter. I'd get a few likes and a few replies and maybe a couple of retweets, and that was about it. Nothing ever came from it. Twitter has never been a steady source of clients for my agency. It's never been a source of students for my program. It's never even been a source of relationships. Like at a bare minimum, social networking should help you network. And Twitter wasn't even doing that for me. I still like the platform, just not for growing a business. Twitter was mostly crickets, especially for how much time and energy I was putting into it, so I stopped. What was the point? LinkedIn and YouTube, on the other hand, have helped me connect with so many amazing people. I communicate with people a ton on each platform every day, so I'm going to funnel most of my energy into those 2 platforms. So that's kind of one example of essentialism. I'm doing fewer things, but I'm doing them better. Okay, so enough about me. What does this mean for you? One suggestion is to write down the priority for your business. One thing. There can only be one. That's what a priority is, okay? Don't let that idea scare you. This is just an exercise you're going to do for yourself. Let's say your priority is to make $5,000 a month. Okay, perfect. Then we're going to break this down again. What is the one big thing you need to do every day if you want to hit the goal of making $5,000 a month? The one thing. Another great book. Go read The One Thing. So what's that one thing? Well, you need to land clients. You can't make money without landing clients. So let's break it down again. How do you land clients? Well, you could set up paid ads. You could offer a lead magnet that puts people into an email segment. You could go door to door. No, stop that. Less but better. One reason that my course relies so heavily on LinkedIn and warm emailing is that for years, this has consistently given me the best results with the least amount of effort. It still takes effort, but we're talking about how much you're putting in versus how much you're getting out. I very quickly learned I didn't want to be dealing with paid ads. I didn't want to be dealing with these complex funnels. There was so much that just seemed so unnecessarily complicated for what I was trying to achieve. So when I was testing things, I was looking at it as what is the most efficient? And that was LinkedIn and warm emailing. It brings quick results. And no joke, I've gotten this response a few times when people have enrolled and I give them access to the program. They look at it and they go, well, wait a minute, this is it? It's very bare bones because for what we're talking about, that's all you need. Now, this isn't to say that other stuff won't work. Paid ads can work. There are a reason why some brands are pouring 6 figures a month into their ads. It's because they're getting a return. Email marketing funnels can work beautifully, but why make it harder on yourself, especially if you're in a place where you are starting as a solopreneur? Essentialism isn't just for business. It's something that you can also apply to your personal life. So let's say, as an example, you are a social butterfly and you've got tons and tons of friends and you get invited out to stuff all the time, something I personally cannot relate to at all, but some people can. And maybe your inclination is to always RSVP yes to everything. And then, maybe you kind of have fun, but mostly you're just exhausted afterward. Essentialism would say, pick the few events, the few parties that you're most psyched about and go to those. A lot of you come to me and you say, I'm so stressed out. I'm so overwhelmed. I have a million things I have to do. I have to do this and this and this and this. No, you don't. No, you do not. You do not have to do a million things, and you shouldn't. If your priority right now is making more money, then the only thing, well, technically there's 2 things you need to care about: finding clients and making those clients happy. Any other tasks, any other responsibilities that don't directly contribute to those 2 things, they can wait, or they never mattered in the first place. You have to go read this. I bought this on Amazon. I bought it used on Amazon. I will put the link below. It's not an affiliate link. It's just the direct product page. I'm pretty sure they have an audiobook, an audio version of it, and your library might have it if you don't want to buy anything. It's a quick read. It's easy to digest, but pay attention to this stuff. I know I'm not the only one who struggles with this. And honestly, it's going to be very good for your mental health too, because I know, a lot of you have told me this and I can 100% relate, especially with the internet and with digital marketing. There are so many ways to get in front of people, and we think we have to do it all. We think we have to be everywhere. And again, building a business does require some level of testing, some level of trial and error. But ultimately, the goal is to narrow down what you do every day to what you know is going to bring you the most results. And that might change over time. No one thing is going to work forever, but you can't do everything every day. That's just not how it works. When people come to me to talk about my program, Revenue Spark, very often they are discouraged and fed up and overwhelmed. Let's take a breath and go back to the basics. I will teach you my start to finish process for landing clients. We are going to strip away all the BS, all the fluff, all the filler, and I'm going to show you only what you have to know. And because no online course is a one-size-fits-all solution, when you work with me, you also get one-on-one coaching. If this sounds like something you might be interested in, just scroll down in the description below this video, and I've left a link where you can learn more about the curriculum. You can view a few testimonials, and if you'd like to move forward with a phone call, you can book a call to speak with me. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Go read this book. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and support my channel. If you have any comments or questions, just drop them below. I will try my best to get back to you, and I will see you next time.